As such a visual learner, I knew that you could probably use a little video shot. So I won't bore you with too many details, but I just wanted to show you kind of what the two things that I was talking about earlier are all about. One, the online learning school, and then also the learning management system, the LMS. And so when I log in as a teacher, this is what I see as a my online school, and this is just again the Jeffco equivalent of maybe Infinite Campus, where like all your information is at your fingertips. It talks to me about attendance. Now I have all the students here listed. Basically, I list almost every single course as the teacher, so I have a really long list. But most teachers would only have, their two or three preps. I check my messages. I can look up students. I can go to a course based on the curriculum. I can check my messages, my mail with students. I can go to different things in my community, and then my quick links are over here. These are all the tools that we use to support the learning environment. So I just wanted you to see that from a visual standpoint. And if I wanted to go to a classroom, then to look around a little bit, I would click on this and it would take me to a list of my courses. I've now entered into a place called eCollege, and I just select from this list now. The only thing that I have that's active right now are summer school courses, and so I'm just going to pick a summer school course, even though it's not the best example probably to use. I'm going to use it anyway, just so you know what it looks like. And I'll just go to English 1, the first one on the list, and show you what that experience is from a teacher standpoint. This is not what a student sees, but a student sees something similar, and I'm going to show you that a little bit as well. But as a teacher, I log on and I can see basically my entire classroom in front of me, my announcements, what's happening, what's new. At the bottom, the course checklist tells me, when things are due, and so that I can kind of look at that. Also, as a teacher, all my course admin setup is here. If I want to look at my grade book, I go here and grade things. A place to share my documents out. The Dropbox is where everything gets submitted to the student. All of our assignments get submitted in the Dropbox and then sent to Turnitin, and then and sent back. And then off to the left-hand side, I was describing for you the course homepage, and then all the different pieces of information that a student would need, and then the actual course itself, units, internet communication, mass media, getting the news, etc. for this particular course. And so a student has a similar look, but from a teacher standpoint, raise your hand, and then each individual module then. And so then as they work through the modules, this is already built for the teacher and for the student in our case. And it comes up looking something like this. And then they just start navigating through the project. Of course, this will take a little while to load today. There we go. And you can navigate part 1, part 2, sections A, B, C, and so forth, just to see. And there's things in here like interactive pieces, in this case an audio piece, a podcast here, might be links to PDFs or to other videos and different things. So that's the experience that a teacher sees when logging in. And now I will show you a little bit about what a student sees. So now I've logged in as in this case, a test student. Their name appears up here. And this is their online learning school. Again, kind of like Infinite Campus, when they log in, it sees their courses listed down here. And obviously this account's kind of a mess because it's a demo. We mess with it all the time. Days since they last logged into algebra, the number of assignments they have to do, and then their course averages are out here. Kind of typical. Their Kmail, which is their own email for us, Class Connect, takes them to a calendar of live synchronous sessions that they have on their schedule. Now this particular student isn't going to have any on their schedule, but I'm going to take you there anyway just to show you what it looks like. And so you can imagine then for Wednesday it might have a list of courses here, and then Thursday it might have a list. This particular student isn't in summer school, so they don't have any. And they can just contact my teacher, see their office hours just by clicking on buttons here and there. So that's kind of the student experience for going to Class Connect. To look at their account, they would just click on this piece and it shows them information about their passwords and other things. Um, Dashboard is kind of a quick look at what their grades are, what's due, what's overdue, what they've turned in. So what's due shows up in this column, their grades here, and if they have any discussion threads that need to be addressed, they show up here, and then what have you put in the Dropbox? What can the teacher see there in the Dropbox? Okay. So then the next piece then, of course, the student experience would be to go to My Courses at the bottom here, and when the courses come up, then they can just pick one to go to and see what the experience is like there. So let's just pick biology. I know that's one that you will want to see anyway, right? You would want to see the biology course. So we'll go to biology and take a look and see what it looks like. Again, attendance, their progress, their activity, whether or not they've turned anything in, and this student obviously hasn't done any of that. And so you can kind of take a look and see all their information. And since it's the middle of summer and this student isn't active in anything other than orientation, I'm just going to show you the orientation course. So when orientation comes up, you see this little tab over here. It says Access Course. So off to the course they go. Of course, there's an error that has occurred because the course is closed. So I'm going to show that to you in another way. Hang on. Because it's summer school, in summertime, I should say, a lot of these courses are closed, and I don't have access to see all the things that we normally can see. But this is as close as I can get to the actual student experience for you. Again, they log into here. Unfortunately, a lot of the things that they would normally see are not active. It's as if you walked into a classroom in the summer time and there was no teacher and they didn't have anything on the bulletin boards. That's kind of what we're looking at here. We don't have a lot of announcements. We obviously don't have any announcements because nothing's active. But you see some skeletons of what was left in terms of what they're trying to learn in the biology class. And again, what would the student do on their first day? They would go through the syllabus, the schedule, work their way down all these parts. Part of it is their orientation course that they would have already completed. They would familiarize themselves, and then if they wanted to start the class, they'd hit the first unit, which is History of Life on Earth. Pretty big topic. They would come here and begin to navigate through, read through the first piece. They're posed with the question, did you ever wonder why the oceans are salty? Did you know that early oceans were probably similar in salt content to modern freshwater lakes? You can start your exploration there. It lays out the objectives for the student, what it is that they're going to accomplish, the entire set of unit assignments, how you're going to be graded, what the expectations are. Down here there's an opportunity to download the vocabulary journal, and there's just a lot of links and places for them to go. And I think that's where the real value in the curriculum is. It's really difficult to set all this up from a teacher standpoint. That's a lot of work, and I think a choice has to be made how much time a teacher wants to spend in building this versus how much time do they want to spend teaching it. And I know that a lot of the single district programs have had that challenge, and that to build this course would take an awful lot of time. Now, it's not saying that teachers aren't capable, because obviously they are. They're very capable of doing it. It's just how much time are they going to devote to it, and I think that's probably one of the biggest decisions that you have to make. And then, is it fun to put the interactive pieces in? You bet. Is it fun to put a video in here? You bet. I like the fact that we're spending money to do this, but I like the fact that we have the content for the most part already there, and now a teacher can go through and say, look, I really like this part, but it's missing some key points that I want to teach, or I want to add in, I want to put more on top of it. I want to put in a video that demonstrates what they're talking about. So I think that ends up being kind of a key part of this curriculum. But it is very interactive in most cases. Podcasts, videos, PDFs to read. Try really hard to make sure that the objectives are clear and that everybody knows what they're doing, and that you know exactly where you're headed in the roadmap. It's as easy as just following down these steps here. My biggest concern about any of the curriculums is that the assessment needs to be authentic, and that's been our absolute number one goal, is to transform it from something that Siri and Google can answer to something that only an individual can answer based on a great authentic question or an authentic activity. And frankly, I think we're getting fairly good at that. So that's the experience from a teacher and student standpoint. This is called the LMS, the Learning Management System. A company called eCollege provides this particular platform. There are many. You mentioned Edmodo and Moodle and Schoology. Those are all examples of platforms. Those are all examples of platforms that you build your own curriculum on, whereas eCollege or Blackboard are ones that where the company will host your information for you, typically in a little bit different way. Now I thought I'd show you a student experience in a class. Once again, I have to show you the boring summer school version of what we're doing, because obviously we don't have any students in class and so forth. But I just wanted to show you that over here on the left-hand side, all the participants are listed, and you can see I'm the moderator, and all my students would be listed down on this way. I can grant them microphone privileges, chat privileges, video screen privileges, and writing privileges, so that they can, they can write on the screen. They can put a text box in the screen and type in their thoughts. We often use that when we're in a breakout room and so forth. I'll show you a little bit more about that in a second. And then they also might chat down here. Many students, this is their chosen way to chat, and they can send it to the room or to just another single student or etc. But the moderator can see everything, so the moderator would know exactly what's happening with everybody. And there's all kinds of polling tools. There's tools of all kinds. You can share the application on the screen. So if you wanted to share something that you're, a program or a website, you can go to breakout rooms, and so you can say, all right, for the next 10 minutes, we're going to divide into 4 groups and rewrite this story based on what we've learned today. We're going to change the tone. We're going to change whatever. Breakout rooms. We can regulate the chat. We can put a graphing calculator up. We can have students raise their hand upon entering the class to make sure we know they're there. We can change the polling to A, B, C, D, which is right here. A, B, C, D, E, just a green check and a red X, etc. Obviously, we record the session. You saw that at the beginning. I could have recorded this. I can put a timer up. It says, okay, for the next 5 minutes, I want you to talk to a friend about, talk to somebody next to you, do something, whatever the case may be. Take them on a web tour, and then obviously we can work on what's happening on the whiteboard. Go to the next screen. The whiteboard area is where I would load into here PowerPoints, and then I would go through them one by one and use them as my example in this area right here on my whiteboard. You don't have to have a PowerPoint, but obviously it makes it a little bit more interesting when there's something on that board. Other features here, there aren't many, but you can take a screenshot, place a screen capture. You can put an image in. You can put some clip art on the screen, so if you're working away, if you want to point to things, point to items of interest, you just you can use different pointers. I can change my pointer to different things just to show students, okay, look where the red X is located. Just different things to create their interest in what's happening here. And this is the primary way that we would conduct live instruction, live synchronous instruction. And we might do it with one student, because you could set up you could set up one of these rooms to work on math problems with one student, or you could set it up for a whole class, or like a Friday morning assembly of a couple hundred students, or a back to school night um, with people from all over the school. And we can put as many people as we want in here. Now, interestingly enough, this is the older version. We actually have just upgraded, and they're installing the package in I think 2 weeks, so that we'll have the upgraded version 12. And so this is kind of the old school look to it. The next one has a few more features, but that's the experience from. Now you've seen it from an online learning school, the learning management system, and now our synchronous Elluminate session, or Class Connect session, as we call them. I don't know. Thought you might find that interesting, just kind of as a basis for what it is you're trying to do. Let me know if you have any questions. I can show you more if you want.